Welcome to Bike Week Radio Show.
Powered by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance.
Bike Week Radio Show with Bobby Wooldridge, Broc Glover, and Paul Carruthers on San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Good morning and welcome into Bike Week Radio Show on San Diego Sports Leader, the mighty 1090. Thank you again for making us part of your Sunday morning, checking us out at bikeweekradioshow.com, streaming there or through the handy-dandy mighty 1090 smartphone app. And this morning, we're up in Long Beach. The show's on the road from the Long Beach Convention Center for the IMS Long Beach show in partnership here with Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys under their beautiful tent next to their lovely ladies. And
it's like a palace in this tent.
Yes, this is how every Sunday should be.
Yeah.
Out and about.
We're changing our venue.
Women. Instead, most Sundays it's with you 3, whatever the heck there is.
Locked into a studio, just staring at each other.
Dark studio.
Snapping towels.
I mean, I didn't think you'd be reunited with Kitty so quickly either.
I didn't either. Did
you see the twinkle?
Impressive.
Did you see the twinkle in her eye when Bobby came strolling in?
Well, I know because I was blinded by Bobby's twinkle.
Well, that was for Brock.
But it's just a small twinkle, so it's not really that big of a deal. I mean,
Yikes.
Blinding is one thing.
Well, yes, the lovely Kitty from Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys is here, and maybe we'll throw her on headset here in a little bit. But, fellas, good to have you back. Paul, 2 weeks into the new gig, still standing?
Yeah.
Still employed?
Hey, by the way, did you go to online? Did you read Cycle News this week? I went to cyclenews.com and checked out the new issue.
Cover to cover.
Oh, my God.
Digital cover to digital cover.
I know. I did. I read every page this time.
Surprisingly readable.
It's very, very good.
So way better, right?
Oh, it's so much better.
I'm surprised I had that job for 30 years if I sucked that bad.
That guy, Kit Palmer, the new editor, he's awesome. He's awesome.
Killing me.
He was just a pup before you left.
I hear Purlitzer.
A student has been
Purlitzer. A Purlitzer. That's a special award for digital publications, the Purlitzer.
That's what cats get.
But, Broxter, you were also on the road this week doing some...
I was the Honda motocross team announced their team. It's not really a big change. Everybody kind of knew that the team was going to stay the same. Trey Kennard and we had Cole Seeley, but they had a little press announcement up at the Castillo Ranch Supercross track, a really nice facility up near San Ynez, and it was fantastic. I enjoyed myself, went up there and watched some guys do some laps, shoot a bunch of cool videos, and made my way down towards the Long Beach show.
Little museum stop while you're up there, Broxter?
Yeah, it did actually hit the museum there in Solvang. It's just unbelievable. If you ever get a chance to go there.
I've been to that. It's pretty cool.
It's nice.
Ever get a chance to
Quite
go
a
up
collection
there,
of motorcycles.
It's incredible. I really don't know. I mean, the guy that owns it, Virgil.
Virgil, yep.
Yeah, and it is, you get to see the Britain motorcycle. There's only 10 of those ever built, and number 10 is in his museum. I mean, it's probably worth, I don't know what.
It's priceless.
It is priceless. It's an incredible motorcycle. Mick Hellwood's Honda factory bike from the 60s, World Championship, one of his bikes is up there.
No, he's got a good collection.
It's an incredible collection. So we got a chance to go through there, and I went with Nick McCabe from the Racer X group, and I think he said he was going to post something on their site, so hopefully something comes up. But it's really, really cool, and got to see a lot.
Motorcyclists should go there. That's a nice area to ride. There's pea soup there in the neighborhood.
There's wineries close by.
A lot of wineries.
Yep, exactly.
And speaking of wineries, Broxter, you're also heading to Italy.
I am, and there's a Trans Bargaro event that it's an annual event put on by the village in Turin there in northern Italy.
Yeah, what a fest, just because they love motocross.
It is.
They love motorcycles.
And the fun thing about it is not only do you have guys like Brad Lackey and Daniel Laporte go over there, I think Jeff Emmig's going over, Greg Albertine, name a few, but Mr. Dovizioso, I can never say his name. Dovizioso, the MotoGP Ducati factory rider, will also be there, and my understanding he's going to ride motocross. So, hey, well-rounded guys. And
you might be able to school them on a turn or two.
Doubt it. Haven't been on a track in a couple of years, but I bet should be interesting.
Yeah, without a doubt. So, Paul, Moto America.
Yeah,
it's trending in the right direction for you 2 weeks in.
Yeah, I'm 2 weeks in, and then we finally get to. Well, finally, I mean it's only been 2 weeks, but We got to do a nice announcement here on Thursday for Media Day with the RC KTM 390 Cup,
right?
Which will give it'll give young riders an entry into the Moto America series, so they can progress through our series and hopefully go on to bigger and better things with World Championship racing. So it was nice to have something to announce here, and it was very well received by the other journalists and everything. Everybody's really excited.
It was quite a buzz on Media Day.
Yeah, and we'll get into that a little bit later with one of our guests. So it's a good deal, and you know, I'm hopeful that in the next week or so we'll be able to announce our TV package, which everybody's waiting for, because that's going to help people get sponsorship and
show that package.
Yeah, and
show it off.
And get the teams up and rolling with some things that they need to make their jobs easier to get what they need financially for 2015.
Awesome.
And here comes that guest you were just hinting to. Here comes Chris Fillmore, KTM Superbike, also Paul Carruthers' best friend now.
Yeah, I got him out of bed and told him he had to do a little work today. So
former best friend.
Yeah, exactly.
That Fillmore, he's quite a rider. I remember meeting him in 2005, maybe, Brock. We were up at Laguna Seca when the AMA and Red Bull teamed up to reignite Supermoto, and here's this kid out there banging bars with the big veteran riders, and apparently his skills continue to work for him to this day.
Yeah, he's a good kid, and it's good that we can talk to him here in a second. So,
well, here he is, Chris Fillmore, KTM Superbike racer. You can follow him on Twitter at ChrisFillmore11. Also, check out his website at ChrisFillmore.com. And Paul, set up my man's credentials here.
What's cool is Chris has been racing the KTM Superbike for the last 2 years, 3?
This will be my 4th year.
Wow, see, time flies when you're having fun and getting old.
I'm not getting old, Paul. Come on.
No. I was talking about me.
Okay.
Broc. I mean, come on. But so anyway, there was it looked for a while like you might not have a KTM deal for 2015, and the good news is you announced it on Thursday at press day here.
Yep.
That that's not the truth, and that you do have a deal.
Yeah, it was actually. I mean, last year before when I signed my contract to race for 2014, I was told straight up, we won't be going racing in 2015, so you should start looking for a ride now. But with the change of hands, with Moto America taking over, KTM is really excited, and they decided that they not only want to participate with the RC8, but they also want to start their own Cup series with the 390 that is new for this year.
Yeah, and we announced that on Thursday at press day as well. There's a KTM RC390 Cup for 14 to 22-year-olds, and it's really what Wayne wanted when he decided to do Moto America, was a way to funnel kids into the series. It's kind of an entry point for that, and I mean, you would have obviously liked to have something like that when you were 14.
It would have been awesome to have something that, I've competed on the XR1200s, and I know a little bit about spec series racing, and I think it's the best. There's so many variables when you go into, say, superbike racing, where you don't know if it's the bike or the rider, but everybody's going to be on the same bike. Every bike's going to make the same horsepower, so it's really a chance to kind of see who the best rider is.
Yeah, I think it's going to give a young kid an opportunity to show what he's capable of doing. I mean, if you see one kid ride around the outside of another kid, you pretty much know that kid on the outside knows what he's doing, or at least is brave enough to give it a shot.
And as you mentioned, we need some sort of entry point in the road racing. It's
Totally.
pretty hard for a young kid to come off. Maybe he could, find some off-the-wall place that might ride a 125 or something. Then all of a sudden he's supposed to jump onto, a 600? I mean, it's
right.
4 cylinders. The cost is so prohibitive for young kids. And this is nice as a spec tire motorcycle or spec motorcycle. Everything on
spec
it will
tires,
be spec
yeah.
tires and the whole deal, and you basically arrive and drive, and the motors are sealed, and I guess HMC is going to do all the maintenance on the motors and keep them sealed, and so
Yep,
everybody's
that's correct. Yeah,
that's very good.
What's also good is a dad doesn't necessarily have to be some tuner guy, or he doesn't have to know anything. I mean,
well, and I actually did that a series like that in car. I mean, it was great when we raced with Formula cars, and so you literally get on an airplane or you drive in your car to the racetrack, you arrive with one little gear bag with your driving suit and your helmet in it, and you go, okay, so you draw a number, this is the bike I'm riding. So do you know in the series, will they ride the same bike the entire season?
Yeah, they'll actually purchase the bike.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be their bike. They'll own
and
it.
they have to purchase the kitted bike. They can't race the production version, which you wouldn't want to do anyway. So they'll all be on the same bikes, but they'll own the bike. And I think it's an opportunity for a kid can go to his local KTM dealer, for example, get the KTM dealer involved, get him pumped up. They're going to have a nice hospitality at each race and a nice presence in the paddock. And I mean, the kid will feel like a factory star, you know.
Absolutely, and KTM has a long history of this. I mean, they do the same thing at the KJSC series, which the kids ride the little mini bikes, the 50cc's in the Supercross series. Same situation there. They're taking care of their parents. They've got a nice hospitality. You know, the kids, it's a great experience for them. So I was actually at the Honda Press Motocross team press launch, and I didn't get to read too much on it. So the age limit in the 390 Cup, what is the age limit on it? Or
14 to 22.
14, 22. Okay.
So we stop guys like Chris showing up and cherry picking from a 14-year-old. But and the exciting part for Chris too is, and for the kids, is that Chris is not only getting the Superbike ride, but he's also going to have a role within the RC Cup where he's going to mentor these kids and coach them and help them, and you know, and that kind of thing's invaluable. I mean, to have a guy like him that can tell you, you know, hey, you know, think about maybe doing this a little different or that a little different. So
yeah, and you know, I kind of, I guess that you could say I started from, you know, the grassroots and ground up. I kind of jumped into it, you know, to get my feet wet, and did it on my own, and traveled around with my dad and my grandpa. Right? And you know, we just I purchased bikes and showed up, and like I had to jump into the deep end. So for this series starting, I think it's great. I think it's a great way for the kids to, you know, get track time. They're getting on the same tracks that if, you know, they decide to make it a career path and go into like the super sport.
Yeah.
Super sport or Superbike, you know, they're going to be on the same tracks that they're going to be on when they make that jump, and you know, all eyes are going to be on them from the factory team. So,
and speaking of yourself, I mean, you did come from a kind of a diverse background. Started really motocrossing, right? Riding dirt bikes, and then next thing you know, and then you went through the Supermoto program, because I worked with you a lot in the Supermoto with Dunlop there, and then you know, realized that the asphalt portion of it was kind of what you probably enjoyed more than the dirt portion of it. So next thing you know, you went into road racing, and you, like you said, you've ridden everything from the Harley XR 1200 class to the super bikes on the KTM bike, and it's pretty fantastic story.
Yeah, no, it's been good, you know, and it's so true. I have ridden a little bit of everything. And part of the reason why I really like being with these guys at KTM is because they have a bike for everything. So. I get to just, you know, take them out.
Let's tell a little Chris Fillmore story here. I'm going to let Chris take off. But, Chris, my understanding, you went for a little off-road ride. This was quite a few years ago out there, and you had a little problem all by yourself in kind of a remote part of it. Yeah, a little scary moment.
I've never really done that much off-road riding. It might have been like one of my first rides, and I didn't.
What were you on to start with?
I was on the EXC 500. Okay. I was in Utah. I started with 3 other guys, and they weren't quite the same ability level as me. So I saw the single track, and they said, yeah, we're just going to the top of that mountain. Like, you might as well go ahead. You're faster than us. I was like, okay, cool. Took off.
Tell a guy, you're faster than you're better than me. Oh, yeah, man, the ego gets even bigger, and it's like, you got it, man. I'm going right up the side of the mountain there.
Yeah, so I saw this. I saw the top of the mountain. I got there and kind of hung out, didn't see those guys, and then kind of thought I knew where I was, and I was like, I'm just going to drop the backside of this thing. It turned into like a 6-hour ride. I was running out of fuel. I crashed once really bad.
Oh, no.
Fell off the side of the trail. It took me about 45 minutes to get the bike back up, and it wasn't even that bad, you know. And
at that point you're looking, okay, where am I going to sleep out here? And
it was like, you know, hearing things in the woods. I'm like, oh, is that an animal behind me? I'm like,
was it dark at that point?
Paranoia set in. It was dusk.
Oh.
But then I ran into some Boy Scouts that were doing a 3-day hike.
Really?
Yeah. They were on a 3-day camping hike, and they were just backcountry trekking through the
you ate all their
Utah.
food?
Well, I saw them, and I was like, oh, my God, I'm lost. And they're like, you're not lost anymore. Where do you need to go?
We're Boy Scouts, and here's a compass. Here's this. I got a flare.
And they're like, okay, it's about 15 miles down there to this little town. Then you're going to hook a left, and then you'll see, like, the main reservoir.
And you're like, perfect. I don't have 15 miles worth of fuel.
I made it.
Did you?
I made it. And
so did you ever see your buddies again?
No, I never saw them. They called my friend I was staying with. It was like, hey, we didn't see him. You know, he was gone when we got to the top. And then I finally got back. I didn't have service. I was trying to look at my phone. I was like, do I take this trail? I was just riding around in the shrubs on the top of the mountain, being like, just trying to get some kind of reference point to where I was. And
have you ever, been stuck in the wilderness like that, Paul?
I got stuck on a dual sport bike, dual sport ride once, where we'd crashed everything. All the batteries were dead. We couldn't get them started. And we were down in the bottom of this gorge, and it was to the point where we were almost thinking about drinking the water, you know, that was going by in a little stream, and I'm like, oh, man, I don't want to get that beaver fever or whatever they call it.
That's what Bobby's got, beaver fever.
So anyway, we finally, they said, look, we're putting you, we got all the strength we could to push one of these things to the top of this hill. They're like, you're going on it. You have one chance to bump start this thing, and then you ride and you get out of here and you find this helm. So I was full pressure, right? We got the thing started, and all I was like is, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. I rode up to the top, found a fire road, and there was some Rangers on ATVs. They came back and towed us out.
Oh, it's a scary thing when it happens. I've had it happen on a mountain bike, and actually I wasn't as lost as the two guys I went with. They were lost, and we didn't retrieve them until it was after midnight. It was a scary thing.
That gets scary. It started getting cold.
We were in Big Bear, and it was cold. By the time we got done, it was night. Yeah. And we were riding back. One of the bikes, we got it out, but we couldn't get it fired up. So we left the bike there, and one guy rode behind me or behind somebody else. But it was so cold, we stopped and we bought newspapers out of the rack and put them inside our jersey.
Cycling trick, yeah, absolutely.
But it worked.
And we started out on about a 2-hour mountain bike ride, and that was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it ended it after midnight. Yeah, it was an ugly ordeal in the mountains in Idaho. So, yeah, it was. I knew where I was. Like I said, I actually knew where I was. The two guys broke off, same situation.
Oh, so you were looking for them.
They weren't in shape as much as I was. They go ahead. And we were just going to go out and back. So there's no way, we weren't going to do any loop. We were, just out and back. So there's no way when I was coming back I shouldn't have crossed them. I never did. We never found. I had to go back out in a 4-wheel drive pickup, and it was a scary deal. So that's Chris Fillmore's story. Yeah. So from now on, you're not going to break off. And
as far as the superbike goes, I mean, that thing. Obviously, you're continuing it in its development.
Yeah. We constantly are. Every time we go and ride, we figure out something a little bit better than the last time. So development never stops. Even if we're not testing and we're just at the racetrack, we're constantly developing. But we had a good year this year, and it was a little bit tough. We had a couple of mechanicals, and then I threw it down the road a couple times in some key positions to step on that podium, and it's just that's life, that's racing. I know, so I'm happy to be able to get another chance to be back out there, and we'll see if we can't do it again this year.
And then you also said you're going to get to go to Europe here pretty soon.
Yeah, I leave Monday to go to Valencia for it's a media day. 12 journalists from all around the world are invited out, and they get to ride Jack Miller's Moto3 bike, one of the Rookies Cup bikes, and I believe the RC390.
And Paul just retired from Cycle News, and he's no longer technically a journalist.
I may never get to ride a motorcycle again.
You blew it.
I'll give him my story.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Anyhow, that's awesome. You get to ride Jack Miller's bike, so that's
yeah.
Cool.
I wish it was in another situation where I was actually getting a tryout for the bike, but I get to ride the bike and I get to ride Valencia, and I've never had either opportunity, so I jumped on it, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's great. Well, looking forward to seeing that orange bike out there racing the Moto America Superbike Series again next year. That's very exciting.
Yeah, it was good news that they're coming back. So.
And Paul is telling us before you arrived here, just so you know, get your track shoes on. He says, I'm going to run these guys ragged. I'm going to get them into.
He said that when I saw him right before he was leaving Cycle News.
He said anything you need, let me know. It took me a week to get him out of bed and get him over here. So.
And you know what? I mean, I totally agree. We need the Road Race Series to get back off a life support system, and get back into where it needs to be and what we want to see it. And as we talked about.
And it's a good group of riders who all want the same thing. He realizes that for the series to grow, that's what he needs for his career to grow. And
I realized I needed to get out of bed today to come do this.
That's right.
Yeah, so we're all in the same boat with this thing. We got to do some work and make it happen, and everybody will prosper from it. So.
Very good. So Chris Fillmore, factory KTM rider, and sounds to me like the Cup coach. You're going to be the Cup coach.
Yeah, maybe one day there'll be a kid beating Mark Marquez, and he'll thank Chris Fillmore for the help he gave him at Road America in 2015.
Happy to share the experiences that I had, and I'll help out as much as I can.
And always thank the Boy Scouts.
That's right. Be prepared, baby.
Once again, our thanks to Chris Fillmore. You can follow him on Twitter at ChrisFillmore11 or the website ChrisFillmore.com. Excellent stuff. We'll be following your progress throughout the year. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, glad to be on. Thanks, guys.
And now joining us, the interview we've all been waiting for, a celebrity here on Bike Week Radio Show, although first time joining the program, but a big following on our Facebook page. Kitty from Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys. Kitty,
hi.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you guys.
Can you feel the tension here between us guys? Yeah. Is that okay with you?
That isn't tension. That's one of the first questions, are you going to hyphenate when you guys get married? Are you hyphenating your last name? Are you going to have Wooldridge, or are you going to be...
I'll be all his.
Okay,
yeah, it's K-Dub.
Yep.
KW. Sure, this will be KW, a famous motocross rider, Kevin Wyndham.
That works then, I guess.
Exactly.
Well, Kitty, once again, thank you again for having us here at Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys. 2 weeks in a row we've been partnered up here. And thank you guys again for being such a great sponsor with Bike Week Radio Show, and always a pleasure being here.
Absolutely.
Kitty, how many of these events do you do over the course of a year?
Oh, goodness. Probably, I average probably about 2 a week.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Wow. So that's like...
Some of them are smaller events, some of them are bigger events.
Right.
And do you work for the Russ Brown Attorneys at all the shows, so you know the business,
Yeah.
you know it's more than just a pretty face trying to get people to sign up and give you your email address,
Yep,
right?
absolutely. I've been with Russ for, probably 11 or 12 years now.
Wow.
I'm a rider myself.
I was going to say, Kitty was on the I-War ride last week from Orange County Harley into Camp Pendleton.
Very cool. What do you ride?
I have an Aprilia SL1000, and then
Wow.
I actually I have 2 Hondas that I do MotoGP road racing with. Yeah.
Damn.
And
See?
I know you guys do a great job getting out there, but there still might be a few people who don't know about the BAM program with Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys. I know a lot of people are signing up right now as we speak. Tell us a little bit about the BAM program.
BAM started over 30 years ago. We have over 2 million riders all across the country that are volunteering to help other riders. So anytime you break down anywhere in the country, all you do is call our number, tell us where you are, we'll look in the system, find the nearest volunteer, see if they can come help.
Well, Kitty, thank you again. This was 2 weeks in a row. I don't know what we're doing next Sunday for the show, but I think Kitty needs to be a part of it. That's all.
Well, and from talking to Kitty, she not only looks better than you, but she can also ride a motorcycle
And that's
better.
my whole point of this. It's like, I'm actually starting to feel bad with picking on Bobby, because not only is she taller, prettier, and she can beat him on a motorcycle. That's 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah, I know. I would rather have her be the third person on our show, actually, at this point.
Exactly.
And we get rid of Bobby completely.
I say it's Kitty and maybe a few more of the
switchboard?
promo team, and we cut you two out.
That might be even better planned.
Then you might want to be.
still come hang out in
Then
studio,
you could
though.
actually be on TV instead of
There
radio.
you go.
I like this, though. I'm a part of everything either way. So,
That's right. Paul and I have the faces for radio. So Kitty will help you be a TV package. You're all set. So, well, that's great that you're actually a motorcycle rider. You've been with him this long, and talk the talk and walk the walk.
Absolutely. Well, once again, as always, here is once again those helpful riding hints from our good friends at Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys. Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys have been representing riders for decades. And here's Chuck Koro from Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys to provide you with a helpful riding hint.
The laws governing legal U-turns are somewhat complicated. In a residential district, you cannot make a U-turn when any other vehicle is approaching from either direction within 200 feet, except at an intersection when the approaching vehicle is controlled by an official traffic control device. The laws governing legal U-turns in business districts are even more complicated. You should go around the block if there's any question to avoid being cited.
This helpful hint has been brought to you by Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys at 1-800-4BIKERS or online at russbrown.com.
For 46 years, Costa Mesa Speedway has been the most exciting, colorful, and unpredictable live-action show ever. From the comfort of grandstand seating, your friends and family will witness top professional speedway motorcycle racing, insane two-man sidecar teams, Harley hardcores, freestyle motocross, and much more. Check out their entire schedule at CostaMesaSpeedway.net. Costa Mesa Speedway on the Orange County Fairgrounds Saturday nights. Don't miss it. CostaMesaSpeedway.net.
Here's an idea. Bear with me. You could save quite a bit of money just by switching your motorcycle insurance to Geico. Piles of it, in fact. But there may not be a lot of room on your bike for all that extra cash. So I had somewhat of an idea. You could get one of those nifty little sidecars, pile it up with all that money you just saved, and merrily drive on your way. It's just a thought. Just off the top of my head.
Call Geico today for a free motorcycle rate quote. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys are the real deal. Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys. Their entire practice is dedicated to representing motorcyclists. As riders themselves, they understand why you ride, the issues you face, and the motorcycle culture. For over 30 years, Russ Brown and his partner Chuck Koro have been helping injured motorcyclists and their families get the care and compensation they deserve. Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys also created BAM. BAM! A nationwide buddy system of over 2 million riders helping riders in the event of a roadside emergency. BAM offers free legal advice, and thanks to Russ Brown, they have staff on hand to take your call 24/7, 365 days a year.
Imagine a real person answering the phone 24/7.
Just call 1-800-4BIKERS for more information and to get your BAM card today. If you go down, call Russ Brown. 1-800-4BIKERS and online at russbrown.com.
You're listening to Bike Week Radio Show with Bobby Wooldridge, Broc Glover, and Paul Carruthers on San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Bike Week Radio Show, San Diego sports leader, the mighty 1090, broadcasting from the IMS show in Long Beach here at the Convention Center in partnership with Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorney. We're hanging out here at the Russ Brown booth. And if you need to get a hold of Chuck, 1-800-4BIKERS is the number. And you can't miss the Russ Brown booth. There's 2 easy-ups. They have 2 bikes on display. They have the lovely Russ Brown Pro Mode ladies here. So definitely swing by the booth, say hi, sign up to be a band member. Now let's welcome in one of our favorite guests, and always a pleasure to talk to Robert Pandya, the PR manager for Indian Motorcycles. Robert, good morning, and thank you again for joining Bike Week Radio Show.
Man, I'm really happy to be here. I just came in from outside, and the parking lot is freaking jammed. There's a ton of bikes rolling in, and this has always been a crown jewel show, and over and over again, we blow it out of the water. So I'm super
Same
happy
thing here. I was very surprised. I thought I was here plenty early, and there was lines of people coming in the parking structure. It was awesome.
It's a place to be.
Very cool. So what's new in Indian world there? Besides...
we've been taking a nap for the last year and a half. Really not a whole lot going on. No, that's not true. You guys know. We loaned you guys Chiefs a while back. We just fired out the new Scout.
Oh, that's the one they're going to loan us next.
Yeah,
next.
That's the one I would attempt you with next. So but we've got the new Indian Scout. We just revealed that in Sturgis in August. They actually go on retail sale coming up here in just a few weeks before the end of the year. We're going to be shipping.
Let's talk about the retail price.
They're $11,000.
I know, it's a very, very affordable bike.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, right? And it's 100 horsepower. It's really it's not an intimidating thing to ride, though. You'll dig it because you're an engine guy, right? And so the power band is just phenomenal. It just pulls really clean off the bottom, and then it just revs out on the top. It has about 3,000, 4,000 more RPM than the typical competition in that category.
Wow.
But it ends up being a bike that's just super easy to ride off the bottom, and then it just gives you that pull all the way through.
That's what I'm used to riding fairly lightweight, agile dirt bikes and things, and that's the one thing I noticed about riding the other bikes, where that you could literally come to almost a complete stop without even worried about balancing.
Right.
I was surprised how light that bike felt for how it's a big V-twin motorcycle, and so I thought the thing was great.
You're gonna love the Scout. The Chief's supposed to be what it is, a big heavy bike, full fenders.
But it didn't feel big and heavy,
right? But the Scout, you take all that and you remove a bunch of weight and you add a bunch of horsepower, and the handling is fantastic. It's just really a great bike. It's been a huge hit with all the journalist guys that have already ridden it, and our demo line for that bike is just nuts. And everybody's on fire to ride the bike.
Yeah, speaking of on fire and speaking of nuts, just a week ago, was it a week ago?
Yes.
Give us a little background on what you did on a dry lake in California.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so we tried to make a little history. Actually, we did. I'll tell you that. We did. We didn't break any records. We didn't break any records, not yet, but working on that. But we brought the new Chief and a new Scout out onto the El Mirage dry lake bed. So we were hosted by the guys from SCTA and the Gear Grinders Club, who are just so cool, right? And they were really great for us. We prepped the bikes. The Scout ran in a production class. Basically, all you can change is the handlebar and a few other fairly minor things, right? And then my Chief was the same one I rode from San Diego across to New York, the El Nora, right? The project
Speaking
bike.
of lightweight dirt bikes.
Yeah, right.
I can't believe you took that thing.
My 800-pound dual sport bike.
And it's out riding it in the sand near Glamis.
Yes.
Well, nothing parties like a loner, right?
That's right.
I shouldn't say that to you guys. You'll be like, we can do whatever we want to with the Scout.
We learned all about those engines.
Yeah, but at El Mirage, we did 128 miles an hour on the Scout, and then I got 130 out of that Chief, and
awesome.
it was just great. I mean, 1.33 miles.
That makes me feel bad though, because I had my wife on the back, but I did 121 or something. So that's a lot faster. I wonder if I
groceries.
Geez. Whoa, I wouldn't say that, loner. Okay, sorry.
Oh, right.
But it was it wasn't on a street. It was on a closed course competition.
I'm sure it was.
Don't try this at home.
Right, exactly. But it's been a phenomenal year. We've had a ton of fun with the new products, and I'm telling you, the reception's just been fantastic. So I want to thank you guys for supporting us. And Paul's not with us right now, but I just want to say congratulations to him for everything that he's doing, his next new world, his new life coming up, and
tearing up.
I mean, he's for 30 years doing what he did, to be able to step it up. And move into this communications role with Crave. I'm so fired up for you guys, and I know you're just a family. So congratulations, Paul, on the next big thing.
Yeah, thank you very much. It means a lot coming from you, and I can actually learn a lot from you in this communications field because you have the gift of gab.
Yeah, well, you're just used to being on the other side of the typewriter or pen, giving somebody a jab here and there and critiquing
I'll trade
them.
You, right. I'll trade you my gift of gab for your gift of hard card.
That's right.
Yeah, well, I think we might be able to work that out.
Let's work something out there.
My wife thinks I'll be good at this because she says I'm better at talking than listening.
It should be good. It should be good. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's well deserved, and I can't wait to see what your team does.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to help us in Austin. So
yeah, you bet.
We'll need it, and we'll take it.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. This guy's the mayor of Austin, I think, or
I think he
honorary mayor of Austin, no question about it. So Robert Pandya from Indian, PR manager there. It's so. After you did the dry lake bed, so now you're obviously doing the here at the IMS show, doing rides, and people can come up. Can they demo the Indians up here?
Yeah. We can demo. He almost said Harley. Did you catch that?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I
said
no. I did not. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, it almost slipped out there. Anyway, but we can in fact demo the full line of Indian motorcycles, including the Scout. Again, not yet available at dealers, but coming up soon. And then we've got some great stuff going on in our display as well. Some vintage motorcycles, engine cutaways. We've got my Elnora bike is displayed on the red carpet over here, and our Spirit of a Rose Streamliner. And I tell you, if anybody is listening to the show and doesn't plan to come to the international motorcycle shows, that's a huge mistake.
Well, they have plenty of time. It's early in the morning here. I mean, you can just come out and you can spend a couple, 2 or 3 good solid hours here, and then if you want to demo some bikes, come out and ride the new Indian. And it's very interesting. I come to these shows fairly often, and every time I come to the new ones, and like you said, this is kind of the crown jewel of the IMS shows here in Long Beach. So it's in a pretty part of the town, and nice restaurants around, and make a whole day of it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the place to be.
Hey,
hanging out right
lastly,
here, Bike Week Radio.
You threw a pretty fun party. Robert does a lot of these shows, and you can always look to him for some entertainment. 1 or 2 of the nights. Tell us about what went on last night, Robert.
Oh, last night we caught up with Alonzo Bowden, stand-up comic, right? He won Last Comic Standing.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's
a
the
lot
franchise.
of folks know that he is a big-time motorcycle guy. He's got a garage full of bikes.
Yeah.
And he had a show at the Laugh Factory right across the street. So we were able to bring a bunch of industry folks out there, and sure enough, the Honda demo team showed up, and they're all wearing the same shirt.
He had nothing to say about that, right? That's the target. Left them alone completely.
And they're sitting in the front row. And I'm like, this is Star Trek Red Shirtville right here. I mean, you guys are all going down. You're all going down. And sure enough, I mean, every one of the comedians were like, what is with you guys? And it was really great. But I tell you, just, Long Beach in this area, the celebrities that come in and visit us, and everything that you can do here. This is just it's a regardless of what the traffic situation is to get here, once you're here, it's totally worth it.
Very cool.
Have to agree.
Alonzo Bowden last night, Broc Glover this morning. Parade of celebrities in your life.
It's gone straight downhill from last night. I told you.
It's like the salt and pepper of
I don't know. If you just step to the side, it's actually
that's right.
It's gone pretty well here.
Yeah, you betcha. Catch you guys online at IndianMotorcycle.com.
Perfect. Thanks.
Now about those Scouts. Delivered to the
I like red. I like black.
Is that Wednesday or Thursday, Brock?
What colors do they come in?
I'm going to leave the speed limit around.
Once again, our thanks to Robert Pandya, PR manager for Indian Motorcycle, and be sure to check out the Indian Motorcycle booth here at the IMS Long Beach show. Final day, come on by. Still time though. If you're in the Long Beach, LA, Orange County area, come on up. Doors are open. But more Bike Week radio show heading your way next, as we'll be joined by Frankie Garcia, PR coordinator of Suzuki Motor of America. Up next, right here on Bike Week radio show, San Diego sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Here's an idea. Bear with me. You could save quite a bit of money just by switching your motorcycle insurance to Geico. Piles of it, in fact. But there may not be a lot of room on your bike for all that extra cash. So I had somewhat of an idea. You could get one of those nifty little sidecars, pile it up with all that money you just saved, and merrily drive on your way. It's just a thought. Just off the top of my head.
Call Geico today for a free motorcycle rate quote. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
For 46 years, Costa Mesa Speedway has been the most exciting, colorful, and unpredictable live-action show ever. From the comfort of grandstand seating, your friends and family will witness top professional speedway motorcycle racing, insane two-man sidecar teams, Harley hardcores, freestyle motocross, and much more. Check out their entire schedule at CostaMesaSpeedway.net. Costa Mesa Speedway on the Orange County Fairgrounds Saturday nights. Don't miss it. CostaMesaSpeedway.net.
Hi, James here from Toyota of Escondido. Guys, if you're hearing this commercial, that means you are into powerful machines that go fast and are durable. Toyota of Escondido has the biggest selection in San Diego of Toyota Tacomas and Toyota Tundras. Whether for work or play, we can customize the truck of your choice into the truck of your dreams. Don't waste time anywhere else. Stop by or give us a call. Toyota of Escondido. Freeway Close, where Highway 78 meets Broadway, just east of the 15.
This is Bike Week Radio Show with Bobby Wooldridge, Broc Glover, and Paul Carruthers on San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Welcome back, Bike Week Radio Show, San Diego sports leader, Mighty 1090. And we're up here at the Long Beach Convention Center for the IMS show. And we're underneath the Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorney's tent. Can't miss it, so come on by, say hi, sign up to be a BAM member. And right now we're joined by Frankie Garcia, PR coordinator for Suzuki Motor of America. Frankie, good morning.
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Frankie, let's talk about all things Suzuki.
No, let's talk Suzuki. Stop. Is James Stewart? What's the deal with James Stewart?
God,
come on,
put him on the spot.
Come on, dude.
Right away.
Hey, I'm a journalist now. Okay, I'm a journalist now.
I don't think I'm in a position to be talking about that right now.
Okay,
I think you guys are going to get me in trouble.
Okay, I had to ask. Okay, go ahead, Paul.
Now I don't even remember what I was going to say. Anyway, Frankie, tell us. Suzuki 2015. Some updated models. We're going MotoGP racing again. There's lots of exciting stuff going on over there.
Yeah, I mean we got a bunch of new models that we just announced for 2015, and we're really excited about it. Even announced a 2016 model, early release bike, and
really,
yeah.
What model was that?
A GSXS 1000. So it's basically a sports standard bike, and took our previous generation GSXR 1000 engine and stuck it in an upright seating position motorcycle, and it's pretty fantastic.
I got to go make a trip over to the
we got to get you on that
Suzuki booth. I want to go check this thing out.
Yeah,
I mean, really, those bikes are those are the bikes to have, like a naked version of a little bit more comfort. But now they have all the trick stuff that a sport bike has, and not to mention the GSXR 1000 power plant, basically.
Yeah.
So. No, I mean those are popular, and you can see why, because a guy can do a little bit of everything on them and be comfortable.
Got all the power, plus you got a more comfortable sitting position. And what's cool about this bike is it's actually the second model that we've announced that has traction control. So last year we announced our V-Strom 1000 with our first production traction control bike. Now we have this, and it's a 3-mode system, and it's really cool. We're really excited. It's got all the bells and whistles. So.
Oh, very, very cool, very cool. And then the dirt bike side of things, the RMZ is obviously a bike that a lot of guys like. I mean, people go out and ride all the different bikes, and they seem to lean back towards the 450 Suzuki there. They see it just does everything well, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this year, we announced our 2015 RMZ 450. It's got significant updates, new frame, new fork, whole shot assist control. So there's a lot of cool features on there. We got that air fork this year.
Yeah,
and that's a pretty amazing piece of technology right there.
It is. I mean, it's almost to the point. I'm kind of mixed on it. It's almost like the point of, do we really need to keep driving that technology to where it becomes? I mean, you can go a little faster on the track, no question about it, but not very many people could even get to that level anyhow. And I kind of question sometimes: are we we're out tricking ourselves, or out technologying ourselves to where it's not becoming as consumer friendly as it used to be. But I know there's a lot of advantages, some weight and some other things too. So
it's pretty tricky. And I noticed that you guys you talking about your whole shot device, that you have a little starting gate set over here that people can see. It kind of draws attention to the start of the motocross, supercross race.
Yep.
And the technology you guys have there with the whole shot device.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, like you mentioned, that fork is the technology is pretty out there. It's pretty crazy. I mean, you got 3 chambers in that thing, and it's not the most easy. It's not the easiest thing to set up at the track, especially for consumers. But that's what we're focused on right now, is making sure that the consumers know that we have a cutaway fork at the booth right now, and bringing everyone in, let them know that hey, it does look difficult, but you know what, it's not that bad.
Once you understand what you're doing in there and trying to accomplish there. And so let's talk about MotoGP. I mean, that's pretty exciting to me. It was exciting to see a Suzuki back on the track.
It's very cool that they're back because the more the merrier, especially in that deal, and also the technology that they get from doing MotoGP obviously passes back down to their street bikes. So you've got and they've got a nice team of 2 young, good riders, and it's going to be exciting. And one guy's Maverick Vinales. I mean, that's the coolest freaking name you could ever have.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Goose.
No, it was like we had a guy that ran motos. Last name was Burmeister. I mean, come on, Burmeister. Come on, there's no better name.
Yeah, the MotoGP thing is really cool. I mean, obviously Randy and those guys spent a lot of time testing that thing all year, and they just rode Valencia on it. So it was good to see that thing at least out there on the grid. And we got some exciting stuff coming. The chassis on the thing is really good, and we're hearing some positive things coming out of that bike right now. And we got Maverick, and he's riding good, and he's a top contender in the Moto2 class. So it's nice to have him over on our side, and so we'll see. Testing went good this week, and I'm excited.
Yeah, they were. I mean, I think they were just a bit over a second.
No, right at a second.
Right at a second off the top. Yep. The top guy. So they're right there already.
I think Espargaro was like exactly a second off of Marc Marquez's time, which was his time was actually faster than the fastest race time.
And you've got a new motocross kid that's pretty good. The German kid, what's his name? Ken Roxon or something like that.
Rockin'.
Yeah. So I mean, you go into Supercross and motocross as the favorites to be champions. I mean, am I right there?
Well, I mean, anytime James Stewart's on a motorcycle, he's certainly in a position to win the race. There's no question about it. Obviously, Ryan Villapoto going over to Europe to ride the MotoGP, or MXGP. God, we're talking street here. MXGP over there, so that takes care of one of the guys in the puzzle. So, I mean, you got James Stewart, now you've got Ken Roxon. I mean, this could be 2015. You could see a Suzuki back winning a championship in the premier class in Supercross in America.
Yeah, that's what we're going for.
Absolutely.
RCH brought the best of the best in, and they're not holding back at all. They brought Kenny in, and he really puts in the work, and he's a good rider and a good kid, and it'll be an exciting year for sure. We can't wait to see him out there.
We're talking to Frankie Garcia here, PR manager for for Suzuki Motor of America. Get the name right here.
It changed. So in your defense,
it used to be American Suzuki. So Frankie, I mean, so now speaking of that with Ken Roxon, that in itself for you is a nice thing because you've got a lot to talk about, and you've got before when somebody's running around in 5th or 6th place. I used to tease one of the people I know in the PR department not at your company, but another company. It's like, okay, I want to see what your press release says this week. How do you sugarcoat a 5th and a 9th? I mean, it's tough. It's hard for the PR people.
Being an editor at Cycle News, I mean, we used to get press releases all the time. I'm like, how do you polish that turd?
Exactly. Right? It's like, here, I got
But it's exactly what they did. It's like you get a press release. This guy got 12th, and he's Valentino Rossi, for God's sakes, when you read the thing.
It's called putting a cherry on top of a turd sundae. And it's like you now have, I mean, Frankie's going to be one of the happiest guys in the pitch. You get stuff to talk about. James Stewart. You're going to have Ken Roxon to work with. Yeah. So you've got a lot of guys who run the yellow brand there, and that's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, having new bikes, good riders, solid teams. I mean, for a PR guy, it's a dream.
It makes the job a lot easier.
Yeah, and for me, when I grew up racing motocross, Suzuki was always known as a real technical company. I mean, there were some companies that were much more marketing-driven companies, and Suzuki was always a real technical company. They always seemed to focus 100% on their motorcycles, making the best motorcycles they could out there, and then let the chips fall and the results speak for themselves, where other companies like we're talking about, they're making press releases, for a 9th and a 5th or whatever, and It's really like, really, do you really seriously advertise a third place finish?
Yeah, I mean, there's some companies that want to race, and some companies just like wearing the sunglasses. So
exactly, and so Suzuki's always been that nuts and bolts, a company with Yoshimura's backing. Obviously, is a company that's synonymous with state of the art championship-winning performance, and then you've got, like I said, with Ken Roxon and James Stewart.
And Frankie Garcia. I mean, that rounds out the whole package.
got the triad.
Yeah, it'll be a good year. We're really excited. Like I said, Kenny's a good kid. Obviously, James is pretty proven, and we got a solid package. So come Supercross season here shortly, we'll get going, and it'll be really
Frankie,
cool.
I think this Suzuki Instagram account's going to be really active with those two guys, because if you just, I go to that Hook It Athlete Index and you check out every week who's trending on what social media stuff. But James Stewart and Ken Roxon are always the top motocross guys. So it's
and Frankie holds his own too. By the way,
I do my best.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna be following those guys. So where would we follow the Suzuki or you, Frankie, on Twitter or Instagram?
At Suzuki Cycles. That's it. Yeah, get on there.
Suzuki Cycles.
Yep.
Perfect.
Thanks again, Frankie Garcia, PR Coordinator, Suzuki Motor of America. Frankie, great stuff, and we'll be keeping up with you all throughout the year.
Hey,
I'll drag him down to the studio next time.
Yeah, Paul's got my number.
We'll get him out and about when he starts winning Supercross races.
Yeah, there we go. We'll get Kenny in there.
Yeah, there you go.
How about that?
That's it. All right. Thanks, Frankie.
All righty. Final segment here, Bike Week Radio Show. We are joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Chuck Koro from Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys. That number, once again, 1-800-4BIKERS. And, Chuck, it's been a fantastic weekend. You still have a little bit of work ahead of you, though. There's a full Sunday here left to go.
This is a great show. We come here every year. We're the attorney sponsors for IMS all over the country. And this is a heck of a turnout. You got to come down, folks. It's a good time down here in Long Beach.
It is.
And as always, I like when Chuck springs for the lovely ladies. The promo team's working hard. They're not like, I'm tired and I've just been standing for an hour. These girls have been standing
they were here.
2 days
they
in
were
heels.
On duty. Yeah, they do an amazing job, and they're pretty engaged.
They are engaged. They're very dedicated to us. Most of these ladies have been with us for a long time. Kitty over there, who you got to come down and see, folks, has been with us probably the longest of all. And she actually races motorcycles.
She does. We had a little conversation about her road racing, and she does some vintage kind of GP road racing, which is really cool.
Yeah, she's just a badass, kick-ass chick. She
is.
She was part of the I-War ride that we were lucky enough to be partnered up with last weekend over at Orange County Harley into Camp Pendleton. And
great event.
And also tell us about what Russ Brown has coming up on the events calendar in the future.
Where are we going to see the display? After Long Beach folds its tent, where will you appear again?
We're going to be at all the IMS shows right across the country. I think the next one's Seattle, then after that we go to New York, and they're just all over the country. You can go into our website, russbrown.com, and generally there's an event list, or you can call us at 1-800-4BIKERS, and we'll let you know where we're going to be. Those are the main shows. Now, of course, as the spring comes up, we do the river run in Laughlin, and then we get ready for Sturgis. And the whole cycle starts in Hollister, July 4th weekend. We're the attorney sponsors for that. So, we got a lot of stuff going on. Plus, we're at Cook's Corner in Orange County all the time. And the Rock Store up in Mulholland.
And, Chuck, I want to be there when you ride up on this incredible stretched V-rod with a two-passenger sidecar that we had some fun with Bobby earlier in the show.
Yeah,
but, is this your personal ride?
No, Russ and I, we have at the firm and Jim too. We have about 10 bikes or 11 now. I don't know, but this one we bought and had it all set up when it was the Harley Davidson 10th anniversary. This is the I believe the 2003 or 2002
10th
V-Rod.
anniversary of the V-Rod?
I'm sorry, 100th anniversary of Harley Davidson. When the V-Rod came out, we bought it.
It's a spectacular motorcycle. We took some photos of it that we'll post on our website and our social media spaces. But it's when you look at the detail and you contrast that to a stock one, this is well beyond stock. In my opinion.
Yeah, it draws a lot of attention. It's great. Right? Yeah, we'll get it out in the street. Street legal.
Cool. Bobby, huh?
Oh, I can't wait. That sidecar's perfect for Kitty
you
and I.
You and Kitty, you probably fit 3 or 4 of the girls in there.
But and also this Long Beach one has to be special for you guys. You guys are based in L.A., and so it's right in the backyard for you.
Yeah, it's a local show for us. We are based in L.A. because we have lawyers all over the country, and we have our office up in the Bay Area too. But I don't get to go to all of them. We usually go to New York, Arizona, and up in Northern California, San Mateo. But yeah, this is the closest one, and it's one of the better ones. It's great.
Yeah, fantastic. And once again, come on by. They'll be here for the rest of Sunday. doors open till 6.
I think so. Beautiful weather.
But plenty of time.
A lot of demos going on outside.
You can even, if you are listening in San Diego, you still have time to drive up from San Diego and still get here. Orange County, Long Beach, LA, you have no excuse. You should be here. And, of course, come by Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorney. There's 2 pop-up tents. You can't miss it. And, obviously, you got to come check out the bikes.
Join the literally the hundreds of motorcycles we've seen in here this morning signing up to be BAM members, which is, I guess, why we're here, huh?
Well, we're at all of them. So, yeah, you can come on and sign up and get your BAM card, free legal assistance whenever you need it, and also the network of bikers helping bikers if you're ever stranded throughout the country.
Well, Chuck, once again, great work, my friend, and we'll see you around.
Appreciate it.
Well, that'll do it for us here at the IMS Long Beach show, but it doesn't mean that should be it for you guys here. Still time to come out, check out the show, Long Beach Convention Center, and, of course, stop by the Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorney's booth. You can't miss it.
Do not miss this one.
It's huge. There's 2 easy ups here. They have the Russ Brown girls here. They have the two bikes here in a sidecar.
They have Russ Brown girls.
I'm hoping Paula and I can hop in that bike and take off.
No, I think you're hoping you and Kitty can
or
hop
Kitty
in
and
that
I,
thing.
whatever.
Well, it's a sidecar with 2 seats in the sidecar, so Bobby and Kitty could be in the sidecar, and you could be the chauffeur.
I can get you around town. And
there you go.
I'll look
drop
good
them off, pull up front, kind of like a limo, drop them off for reservations for lunch.
So, yeah, if you're up here and you see that black and yellow sidecar with a nice-looking girl and a midget sitting with her.
Hey, is that politically correct?
I think it's a little person, and I thought you were going to call him a troll, but at least, I don't know. I don't know what's better, but Bobby, just take him out.
Are we supposed to use the word midget anymore?
No, I don't think so.
I apologize for that.
You should.
Sort of.
Profusely.
I liked it.
Well, please come on by IMS Show Long Beach. If you haven't been to the IMS Show before, it is something you need to do.
Yeah, there's distraction left, right, and center.
That's right. That's Kitty's cousin.
So here we are at Long Beach Convention Center.
Long Beach Convention Center.
IMS Show.
IMS Show.
California. International Motorcycle Show.
The show tonight, it's open till 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Look how flustered he is.
Yeah,
that's it. We're out of here. We'll be back next Sunday right here, San Diego Sports Leader, Mighty 1090.
You've been listening to Bike Week Radio Show.
Powered by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance.
Join us next week for more Bike Week Radio Show on San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.